The system automatically runs commercial billing for you every month. If you missed it, or if there was a property not onboarded, you may occasionally need to run it. So I'm not going to go into great detail about commercial billing, but if you go to charges, commercial billing, you can run the report and see your commercial billing. Maybe you want to review it. Maybe you are fine with it, but you want to review it. If you put in the period you want to review and select report only. One of the helpful pieces of information that it does show you is changes in your rent. There aren't, oh, here's one. So this means that there was a rent bump in March. So last month it was only $1,748.36, but this month it's $1,881. So it's an opportunity for you to go, yes, I knew there was a rent bump. That's fine. It also will help you if you're doing rent roll reconciliations to show you where you have mid-month rent bumps, because it will have a variance. And so if you save that report later, you can go back and run it. There are also just the commercial billing reports under commercial billing. Lease tenant commercial billing. So keep that in mind. If anything changed between when commercial billing was run, which is run on the 15th of the prior month, so February charges were run on January 15th, then you have to use revised billing. I will tell you, there is one thing I don't love about revised billing. Well, there's a couple of things I don't love. Number one, let me change a lease so we can show what it's going to do. So number one, when you run revised billing, it is going to, just going to change this to another number because I'm in test. Charges, revised billing. We're going to revise January. This screen is going to show you the old amount and the new amount. Apparently I had already revised it, but it's going to show you the old amount and the new amount and what it's going to do. What I don't know is that sometimes, in this case, it's two different charge codes, so it will create a batch to move it from one charge code to another. But when you're revising, for example, CAM, which I just updated, so I would have thought it would have calculated, but I must have fat fingered something. But when you revise CAM, it may lump those amounts together. It does not always lump those amounts together. And I'll be honest, I haven't figured out when it combines them and when it doesn't combine them. So I always recommend you export this screen so you can review it in Excel and make sure that it's correct. Because once you hit create batch, some of those lines are still going to be separate and some of them are going to be lumped together. Like I say, I am assuming it has something to do with whether or not the charge has been paid. I'm guessing if it hasn't been paid, maybe it just does the difference because it's adding it together. And if it has already been paid, it's doing a credit and a new charge. But I haven't sat down to test that theory. So when you do revised billing, there's two additional steps or two additional pieces of information. One, all of that is visible on a tenant statement. When you can run a tenant statement and say reverse charges no, that doesn't include revised billing. It's going to show both all the ins and outs of revised billing. Two, when you run revised billing, you still have to do an application to clear all of those ins and outs. So it's an extra step of either doing an application, or if you know you're going to be revising charges and they aren't yet paid, you can use the charge reversal function. Not everyone has access to the charge reversal function. In general, accountants have access to the charge reversal function. So you just go to charge reversal, you put in the tenant you want to reverse. I'm just putting in, this is not a charge, I don't know why I put that in. If it's specific, like a batch, the January rent batch or a specific charge code, you can add those additional filters so they show up. And then you just select the charges that you want to reverse. And these will not show up on tenant statements when you say no charge reversal. And the system automatically reverses the charge and applies it. So it's only one step. So you could reverse the charge and then go and run revised billing. However, only completely open charges can be reversed. You cannot reverse a partially paid charge. So you kind of have to decide which is easier to keep track of, how long, what we're talking about. Are we talking about one tenant? Are we talking about all the tenants? You'll want to measure the amount of work that goes into either using charge reversal and revised billing or just using revised billing and an application batch. Okay.